Hey, how's it going? Welcome. This should be a pretty quick one. I'm going to try and make it a quick one because we really only have this one picture to look at, and we only have one night to talk about, and it's the night of Halloween night 1977. Halloween night of 1977, my best friend Garth and I had had reports due the next day. The class was called Charts and Graphs, and we needed to complete this like folder. It was like a report folder. You had to have like a like a topic folder, and then inside you had to have charts and graphs collected from publications or other outside sources that related to the topic that you had picked for the report. Well, both of us were behind on this and didn't have these reports even ready for the next morning. But it was Halloween. We couldn't finish the reports and still have Halloween night. So my sister, my older sister Nora, finished our reports for us. She did our homework for us, but she didn't do that until after she put this makeup on us. So it was, Halloween 77, and it was in Pollock Pines, California, in the mountains, and there was snow on the ground. Snow had already fallen, probably about a foot of snow. Plows had gone through, but we were on foot in this little town, and we were always on foot in this little town and completely used to it and completely up for it and ready to go. So Nora puts our makeup on. She says she's going to finish our reports, which she did, and we both got good grades, maybe B's, and we take off. Uh, this is the picture taken before we leave. From here, we walk to Safeway. The lady in Safeway looks at me with the dozen of eggs, and she says, "What are you guys doing with these eggs?" And I say, "I'm just running to the store to pick them up for my mom." She again turns her head a little bit, but she didn't go any. I said nothing. I just stood there, and she sold me the eggs. So now we've got a dozen eggs, and we head out. We start, positioning ourselves in good spots. When we hide, one of the spots we like to hide is directly in front of this old church that had like these steps that had like a little facade, so you could hide behind that facade and you could see people walk by without them really noticing you because there's snow piled up. And we're looking for younger kids that we're going to pelt with eggs and then maybe come and grab their candy. Not kidding. Um, Maybe even light their, if they've got paper bags, we might light those on fire with a lighter. We're horrible, horrible kids, Garth and I. Now, this is seventh grade. We're troublemakers. So we're running around doing this sort of thing. We're also exchanging eggs with other people. Like we're getting, there's eighth graders that are older than us, a couple, two, four, six of them. They're doing the same thing we're doing, and they're trying to get us with snowballs and eggs. And so we're keeping our eyes peeled for them as well. So we're walking up this hill. We're going from house to house. We're still trick or treating. And we go by Miss Milburn's house and we get the divinity. And as we get to the top of the hill, we see two of our friends coming. And it's this kid Bob and this kid Roy. This kid Bob, he's got a he's got the classic Charlie Brown sheet ghost costume where he's taken a sheet and he's just covered himself with a white sheet, but he for his head he's used a pillowcase, and he cut the holes in the pillowcase. But and totally unintentionally, I believe, they come walking up, and the way that the pillowcase is draped and the way that it really looks like a KKK costume. It really looks like a cone at the top because he's got the one of the corners of the pillowcase like. So we're like, like, damn, Bob, you're dressed up like a Klansman. And he's like, I'm a ghost. What are you talking about? And we're like, hey, did you guys hit miss? Like, what did you guys do so far? We tell them what we did, and they tell us what they did, and we exchange stories, and they talk about we ask about the divinity. Did you guys get divinity? Did you guys stop to see Miss Milburn? And we're like, yeah. Did you get the divinity? And Roy, this is one of the classic laughs of the night. Roy pulls out his divinity. He goes, "Yeah, I got the divinity, fucking divinity," and he tosses it up in the air, and then he punts it like a football punt, and it goes flying up in the air down the abandoned, barren, cold, icy, snow-covered streets. And we all laughed and laughed and laughed. We thought that was hilarious because the divinity was actually good. And but it was just funny, fucking divinity, the contrast of those two words. So then we split up and we take off. So towards the end of the night, and by I mean the end of the night, it's late. It's like 10:30 or something like that, and we're like policing up what remains. And there's this big house, one of those big mountain houses with the big front deck and big open windows where you can see inside. And there's a party going on in there, and it's like young adults, like maybe like college age kids and maybe high schoolers. I'm not sure, but they're like young adults. It's like a kegger of 20-year-olds. And we decide to just check it out because there's definite movement there. We're going to trick or treat. Let's go check it out. So we go to the door and we knock, and this guy comes to the door and he's like, "Oh shit, it's Kiss. Hey, what's up, you guys?" And he's like, "You guys are probably the last trick or treaters of the night." And he brings us a bowl, and he's got a big stainless steel bowl of Snickers and Paydays and the bite-sized ones, and he gives us all the candy that they have left. And we kind of don't leave. There's people, it's a party, and we kind of hang, and they're like, "Look at these kids, it's Kiss. You guys look great, man. What are you guys up to?" And what are you guys doing? Because we kind of look how we're dressed. These aren't necessarily costumes. We're kind of like, we look like we're troublemakers. So we end up getting a couple beers from these people, a couple like old school short can Budweisers. And we take off walking down the street, and we drink our Budweisers, and we go home. And that's the entire end of the story. We had a little taste of what an adult party looked like. We kind of looked around in there, scoped around. Can't remember exactly how we got the beers. I don't remember if Garth asked for beers and they laughed, and then as we're leaving, homeboy like slipped us each a beer. I'm pretty sure that's probably how it worked out. We didn't steal the beers. They gave us beer. Which was totally normal back then. Not even a big deal. I'm serious. Like all those pictures of family reunions that I was showing recently, I didn't really mention, but during those years, even as a teenager, I was drinking beer at those family reunions. All the other teenagers were too. It was kind of a weird thing. True stories though. Anyway, awesome Halloween night. Epic Legend Halloween 1977. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Talk to you later.